players from this weekend will be going on to Germany for the main event. And we've got round number 3 opening up. COINNU looking to maybe close this series out. If he can get a victory, Capoch trying to stay alive in this 2-0 Roosmeer on Frisian Marshes.
Looking at the gold placement, it's pretty interesting. COINNU in the red in the top right has a kind of breadcrumb trail of gold deposits all the way to the center of the map. Yeah. Small, 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 and then big. Whereas for Capoch, one forward gold, one kind of off to the side to the back, and then there's kind of a rather distant small gold. Seems like COINNU has better access to those golds. Wood, of course, has been scripted to be fairly equal, so no real changes there. And then in terms of the stone, 2 stone deposits forward for Capoch on the left side of the map in the blue, a stone forward and backwards for COINNU, and then the deer. We've got the deer camps a little bit closer position for COINNU than it is for Capoch. Overall, slightly better map seed, most likely for COINNU at this time. And we'll see if anyone wants to harvest fish or if they will just completely focus on the Gaia.
Yeah, and as always, we're in a mirror matchup here, and we'll be looking for those like little differences. Where do players deviate from a strategy? And you usually see that happen sooner than you think, where players just have different perspective or think they're going to counter or outmaneuver the opponent. Now look at all the sheep. There's so many sheep up for grabs here. There's typically a lot also like between blue and red, like between their bases. There's like on that northwest corner, there always ends up being sheep there, but they're going to be fighting over these deer and of course wolves that are out on the map. And we'll have to see what bounty count they are able to achieve here as they are able to kill all these.
Yeah, just looking at the gold, it looks like COINNU is doing a better initial job of getting some of those deers killed at this time. He's got a little bit more gold in the bank, which shows his bounty is doing a slightly bit better as well. And not to put you on the spot, you can feel free if you don't know, because I don't know too. Do you know how many sheep there are on this map?
The total sheep, I don't know the exact amount. All I know is it's a metric lot ton, right? That's our EGTV safe one, but I always wait to look at the town center after about the first few minutes and see how many sheep are sitting there. But even though it's a lot of sheep, I've seen people get all the sheep and still run out of food because this map could be easily pinned down. If you're kind of stuck in this corner, as far as gold is concerned, there's no like running to your back gold mine or anything like that. Like you've got to have some map control.
So to be clear, every standard ladder map made by Relic has 24 sheep to be divvied up for both players, with 3 spawning in vision, another 3 nearby of the main base, and the other 12 spread out all over the map. So 24 sheep. Mongolian Heights deviates from this with 36 sheep, 50% more. And I wonder if Adne, who made this map, followed that methodology and that there is 36 sheep. We'll do a tally soon as they're bringing back the sheep to their base. In terms of the bounty, let's see. We are looking at the red player now, COINNU. He's got a bounty of 215, 240 now. Wait, who has the 215? Where do we see which player we're looking at?
It's kind of hard to tell when it's a mirror matchup who exactly has it, but it seems like they both. See, there's 250 for whoever's perspective that is. Has 250.
Yeah.
It looks like it's red.
COINNU. So
okay.
COINNU in the red, 250. He reached H2 of the bounty. Now let's take a look at Capoch on the left side. He's at 215. And he is starting to call those sheep. That's something Roost players sometimes don't do enough to fast call all the different sheep. You've got access to that bounty, but you're not actually going for it yet. But luckily he is. He's doing a good job of it. Almost at 250, and there's plenty of sheep more that can be killed. Well, he didn't do it yet. He got busy with something else.
Yeah, he's almost there. But yeah, both players going for the same landmark as far as their age up goes. And yeah, their 250 has now been reached. And so far, nothing too crazy. As we get into H2, we'll kind of see if there's any differences in the strategy. Capoch aging up a little bit faster. Did he have more villagers on that landmark, perhaps?
Very possibly. I see 4 for COINNU.
Yeah, that's a significant time difference.
And so he starts getting those golden age tickets a little bit quicker. That can lead to certain timings to be a bit more advantageous.
Yep. So yeah, quite a timing there as far as his age up. Going now to get the gold the traditional way there, getting it from the gold mine there for COINNU, and both players. Now it's interesting. COINNU has 4 scouts on the map.
Yeah, one scout more. That also means he has one villager fewer. He was hoping that those scouts would lead to more sheep. Can we get a total head count of sheep for both players, like both the corpses and the available sheep, just to kind of get a sense for who got more of those? So for red, we're seeing 8 plus 6 plus whatever he killed. That's 14 left available right now. And then for Capoch, how much does he have? We're looking at that now. It was 14 for COINNU, and Capoch has, oh my god, 23 sheep. So despite having only 3 scouts, he was able to get more than 50%, actually almost 50% more sheep. Pretty impressive. Capoch did a good job with that.
Did he train that fourth scout in transition, though? I didn't see when he trained it. I was wondering if he did it just kind of to get some map control here.
It was pretty early on. It was still in the dark ages.
And he can see right now that a stable is currently being built. Let's see if he reacts, if he goes for anything himself. It looks like he's expanded, though, down to the deer in the pond there on the south side. So as of right now, hold on. You gotta drop that off somewhere. These aren't the fishing boats, you know.
Well, technically, okay, there we go. He's going with that town center near deer, near some fish. So we have that expo coming up. Both are playing the second town center. Castle, too far, too ineffective. Feudal, all in, too risky. No, they're both going for the second TC. I want to say it's probably meta since they're both doing it.
So we've got the second town center, but we also have he trained 4 scouts. They're going to be down there harassing. We also see Capoch currently harassing with his scouts. But you have a stable online for Capoch. I'm not sure if COINNU has dropped down a military building yet there in his base. Maybe going to lose one villager there, perhaps. It's going to be a close one. Yeah, I think it's going down.
I think he's going to get it.
Yeah, nice little pickup. And not to mention, he was 1 villager down already. So, and the knights there are going to be dealing with the scouts. But he lost a villager there. Okay, evens out.
And the villager for COINNU was carrying 11 food, so that's a villager plus 11 food denial. I don't know how much Capoch's villager had that was killed off.
Oh yeah, that's true. But, yeah, because he was holding food. Yeah, good point. Stable.
And he's choosing shorefish, of course. Shorefish, you get a little bit faster gathering rate than deer with villagers.
Got the 1-1-1 for Capoch going up. He's got a barracks, archer range, and a stable. Let's see how COINNU, if he does the same exact thing. Now, if I'm not mistaken, was this how... I can't remember. Who was it in the earlier French game who went the 1-1-1? Was it Capoch?
That was COINNU that went for 1-1-1 with French just now on the map with the cauldron. And it ended up into a win. And he just used knights for harass, not as the main meat of his army, while using spear archer as the main body of his army. I like that approach quite a lot. He constantly saw knights not as your men-at-arms replacement, as the front line, but as a villager raiding unit. And he got paid off to the degree that he got that second map win. Yeah.
I do see players are discussing in the chat about the gather rates of the fish and deer, with the fish being superior. So looking at this fish count can often be important when looking at these ponds and where they've got those town centers, and it can be a little bit different depending on exactly how the ponds are spawning in.
Yeah, I'm checking to see it is 12% faster to gather fish over deer for the gathering rate. So that's pretty impressive advantage. That's almost like 1 econ upgrade difference.
Yeah, and so both players training up their army. We do see nothing sizable yet. A wooden fortress dropped down on that forward base there for COINNU. And there's also a relic there to note for later on, but both players kind of have equal access to those. But as of right now, a lot of booming and kind of sitting around waiting for the big fight ahead. We do see more military units, though. Military buildings being dropped down for Capoch.
So can we get a vision check here for COINNU? What does he see? This is COINNU's vision. The wooden fortress helps to see some of that stealth forest. I'm pretty sure COINNU is not aware that Capoch has that... Oh, there we go. A scout on the left side spots everything. He sees 5-unit production buildings if he has the presence of mind to look at that scout. Yeah, that's insane. That's never going to go castle. He's got 5-unit production buildings, double barracks, double archers.
Yep. So is COINNU, could we take a quick peek at his base? I'm wondering if he has the same thing. I don't think so, because I'm only seeing a few military units for him. We see 11 archers already out on the field for Capoch. I see a few more. So he's responding to but it kind of seems like both players are making a whole lot of everything. Like, I don't know what the perfect counter to this is going to be.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of Roos Mirror recently. It's changed quite a bit, and I'm happy to learn together with you, if anything, and with chat here. And it's okay if we don't know everything, and we learn it, and we see like, okay, this is super cool. They're gonna make a large feudal. Really nice find with the knights here by COINNU, getting a couple of villagers that were trying to illicitly gather with the hunting cabin there on the water. He was forced to make that hunting cabin there because he didn't feel like he had enough fish near his town center to really get ahead. But yeah, if you don't make the wooden fortress, then it remains a target.
Yep. And we've got that wall segment. Of course, pointing out there's a boar up for grabs. I think that knight could go for it, but it doesn't look like he's been doing that for now. And another raid going on against Capoch, or COINNU's town center, it looks like.
Yeah, on the right side, there's some spearman pushing away a knight. Villager count, of course, even. They didn't manage to kill that many of each other's villagers. COINNU actually kind of caught up, and with that many barracks and archery ranges, you would imagine that if COINNU just spammed archers with very few spears, that he should be good, because he scouted the double archery range, double barracks, so he should know, like, hey, if I just absolutely spam archers, I should be in a good spot. But what Capoch has done here that should put him a bit ahead, he's got the double Broadex upgrade. And this is something COINNU doesn't have. So Capoch is mentally a little bit more ready to be fully feudally aggressive and relevant.
Yeah, we also have this wall segment is so interesting. Kind of going to guard his... Oh, losing a villager there. Going to kind of guard the raiding from coming in from that northwest corner, and could also kind of funnel his army into where he wants to take this fight. But it also funnels it towards that like second gold, which at some point he'll need. You never know. Capoch could come up and shore that up with towers if he wanted to.
Yeah, and is there any gold in the bottom right? Like, that seems way too far. Way down by the lakes in the east side of the map. There's another gold. This is a siege engineering ram attack. Let's take a stock of the unit count, about 7 more for Capoch. He's gonna make rams. He's got 3 blacksmith upgrades soon. So will COINNU.
Yeah. So obviously Capoch is looking to put the hurt on. I mean, he really wants to win this game, right? He's trying to stay alive in this. Best of 5. If he loses this, he's not going on. He wants to go to Germany. And he's got a ram and a bunch of units that are ready to put some more fight out here.
Let's see if he can do it. There's a pretty good concave there by COINNU. Villagers gathering the deer do get spotted by that scout. Let's see if he's going to split his attention. Yeah, he is. He's going to go gun down some villagers.
Did you get one? Yeah, you got one.
Just one. The ram actually goes in by itself, going commando.
The spearman able to pick up the knight easily, and a villager there too, I think. Yeah, so more villager picks up as we got the archers. We got a flank coming in. They could do a charge on the ram or on the knight, or the archers. He needs to get the spearman back, because now the flank of knights is going to be quite a problem. He's pulling the spearman back, but they're easy to pick off for those archers that are going to be countering them. And with that, it looks like Capoch is kind of falling back. Did that ram die, or is that just going into battle still? I think that's maybe what's going on.
If it didn't, it's gonna die now. I gotta say, Fitzbro, we have a very sound tactical mind here from COINNU. Constantly, when it looks like he's a little bit vulnerable, you've got 6 horsemen coming in from the side, like in map 2. Now 3 knights and a scout coming in from the back against those archers. Capoch very much operated under what you see is what you get, what I see is what you have. Sent his spears in to tank archer fire. Not effective, but he thought, hey, I'm all in. This is what it is. I'm going to send my spears forward. Kept none back with his archers, and COINNU just out-strategized him time and time again. Scouts on every side of his map, and what's more, COINNU's scout in the bottom of the map that saw those unit production facilities never stepped into the light. This means that COINNU knew that Capoch has all those buildings, but Capoch didn't know that he knew. Therefore, COINNU was unusually well prepared, both in positioning, fortresses that gave vision, the wooden walls, and the setup of the fight. He had a good warning. He kept those knights out in the woods by themselves and knew exactly what it was going to look like, this fight. Like, he knew Capoch is going to charge in and he's going to flank him. He has the confidence of a war general that has experience and that knows how to win. And COINNU's, he's in a good spot. He killed a lot of units. Economically, not a big difference, but this should give good confidence about the setup for Army at least.
Yeah, about an 7 archer difference right now. So it's not a huge difference. It's not like either player was wiped out per se, but I mean that ram investment that certainly was lost. And from here, like, is Capoch going to try it again? Is he just going to group back up and go again? Although now we see COINNU making the rams, going to send it on back the other way. Like maybe this will even out. Maybe Capoch will kind of have that defender's advantage under his tower, and then it'll go back and forth.
The tower just upgraded the ranged arrows, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that coming in. I'm assuming it's that wooden fortress.
Saw the ram.
Yeah, he has the arrow emplacement and the bonus range, which I believe gives 2 range, so that would give it 9, I would say.
He's losing a lot of archers right now, though. Okay, so we've got the tower laying out some shots, though, but it looks like the army count right now is in favor of COINNU, who's doing okay. Spearman on the back line, just waiting for him to engage, but I don't think really, I guess it looks like COINNU has knights, but there's no knights on the field for Capoch.
One knight comes in into the spears, this time not an effective flank. 2 knights coming in from the front. COINNU has got a good setup. Those knights are getting a couple of hits in on the archers. He's also got the bigger archer ball. The ram comes in right at the right time to take down the wooden fortress. COINNU, he's looking really good. He's charging forward with his own spears now.
Yeah, this has just been a really good fight for COINNU. Even underneath the wooden fortress fire, he just had just enough of a difference in military count, and not to mention those knights have made a difference. He's had to kind of micro around and fight those while the archers get additional volleys off on you. And I don't know, it's looking like this is leading toward maybe COINNU going to take this series, but it's too early to call yet. I'm sure Capoch's got plenty of fight left in him, but he's definitely going to be in a hard position from here.
Small little update from other matchups at this time. The Muslim is leading 2-0 against Kyo in the round of 16. We have a 3-0 Kasva victory in the round of 16 over Eric. Wham 3-0'd I Am Magic.
So that's the field set here for what we could be seeing next. And we've got another ram being built there, although I think he has another one behind that. Knights charging forward. Spearman not in position. And he's probably going to pull him back as he sees those spears. Yes, that's exactly what he does, as he's now targeting down the Spearman. Now, the archer count for COINNU is slowly being depleted, but there's plenty of knights out here on the field. I think he's going to be, well, let's see, we got this ram, and it's he's deleted, changes his mind, but it looks like some raids are going on the back line.
Really impressive presence of mind from Capoch. Immediately responds, not like Fitzbro and I, where we would have definitely lost all of those 5 villagers under the wooden fortress.
Yeah, for sure. I would have lost them. I'm just like microing my archers, and you're just wailing away at all my villagers.
You ever played Dungeon Keeper 2?
I have not.
Okay, so it's like an RTS, but you can inhibit the mind of one of your minions and control them as the rest gets AI controlled. So now you're controlling like one unit and casting spells and whatnot, and you just forget about the management of your kingdom. Yeah, that's me. I'm looking at the micro of the battle here, looking at those archers, like, oh, I just lost 20 villagers to 1 knight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt like when I was trying to use like infestors with StarCraft.
Neural parasite. You've got your tongue between your lips, trying to like micro that one unit you just stole.
Okay, so we see the archer count. Honestly, Capoch he's not out of this yet. Look at the villager count. Not a huge difference. Now, he is pushed off those berries, but he's got a decent massive archers. 32 archers versus COINNU's 29, but there's 6 knights out there. So that's the real question of, we see those knights down, looks like on the south side of Capoch's base, looking to do some raiding, but there's still plenty of action here. Oh, there's the rest of them right there.
I'm still kind of in shock how COINNU doesn't have double broadaxes. For about 4 to 5 months or so, the Rus meta, since the boar meta basically coalesced, early double, oh, there we go, as I say it. Since the boar meta, like 4 months ago, double broadaxes has been the meta to supercharge this kind of mass archer ball, and he's only now getting it. A lot of gold for Capoch. We have been kind of hypecasting this to be trending in favor of COINNU, but it's actually Capoch that's looking to be in a slightly better spot presently, I feel like, Fitzbro.
Yeah, and see him looking at, he actually built that market and bought the food and is aging up. So, as things are starting to look a little bit grim, like, I think he's stabilized. He had a good hold there as COINNU pushed out. It looked like COINNU was looking to maybe deal some damage as he had some rams and everything. But oh, there we go. The boar being finally killed and a hunting cabin being dropped down for COINNU.
75 bounty, now a total of 400. Very a nice job there. Not quite 500. That that's a hard target to get, especially in Roos Mirror.
Yep. So another boar up for grabs. He could get down here to the south side, but that age up is coming in. What we do with that? As it does look like COINNU also has the gold age as well, and now he sees it, so he knows.
Capoch reaching quite a bit faster. COINNU can, of course, unlike Abbotski Dynasty, power build that H3 in lockstep to try and get that as well. The thing that I would see as being most desirable to get instantly is just that Veteran Archer upgrade. You're going to get that 2 bonus auto attack damage on your piercing shots. You get access to more blacksmith upgrades. Those are going to be great. And of course, immediately, Capoch is hitting with the warrior monks. He wants to get as many relics as he can. They're evenly distributed. He now has to make a decision. Does he go for the far side relic all the way on the right side to try and deny a relic and go for 4? Or will he try to get the middle relic and satisfy himself with just 3 relics?
Yeah, and I see Capoch is gathering stone. I think he's going to try to drop a keep like right in the middle on this gold or something. I mean, it could be more defensive than that. I guess that might be too bold, but he has a little bit of map control right now. He's kind of pushed COINNU back into his base. He could come up and drop a keep and control a lot of resources if he wanted to.
Yeah, maybe the keep on the sacred side and the big gold in the middle.
Yeah.
Or maybe even
right there.
The third satellite gold for COINNU, a little bit closer. It depends how cheeky he wants to get, right?
Yep. I mean, Knights coming in, but lose a few villagers. Spearmen are back at home, though, to deal with it. And his archers kind of pushing COINNU back as he is trying to... Did he get aged up? I think he did. Yeah, he did. He's aged up.
Yeah. Getting his own veteran archer, even the veteran knight upgrade, warrior monks. Knights is still something that COINNU is investing heavily in. He's got 12 knights.
Ooh,
no knights right now for Capoch. Oh, wow.
We had dreams of this grand mid-map keep, but here it is, back at home. This knight kind of forced him to. Like, I don't think this is where he wanted to put this. I wouldn't imagine. But
no,
yeah.
I think you're right. You set the stage for the potential, but it's because COINNU is still using those knights.
I think he's going to get this. It's rare you ever see a Wololo conversion actually happen, but he got it. GG.
Sorry to mess with our radio cast listeners. They're like, wait, really, GG? Whose army turned white? No, he just got 2 knights. It's incredible. Certainly not over yet, though.
I liked how he pulled the spearman back there. Wasn't going to let the archers get on him, but he needs to be careful. Keep being built, but his army on the front line, maybe he has a superior archer count. I think maybe he's fine to take this. He needs to get the spearman on those knights, though. The 43 archers versus 38 archers-ish right now, so it's rather close in numbers, but it looks like COINNU is just standing and firing, so he should be fine to take this fight.
Yeah, good trade there for COINNU. Killed quite a lot of spears. Even going to be able to kill units as they're running away. COINNU once again maneuvered himself into a good spot, basically just balling up archers. Really, the thing that could counter... What's going on?
I'm losing more archers here, but I'm also thinking about he just lost all those villagers back at home, too, so he's lost his losing his military. He's lost a chunk of eco, giving COINNU a little bit of advantage, I feel.
Yeah, Capoch kind of falling apart. He's still rallying units here and there, taking marginal fights that are not advantageous. Now fighting archers into knights. Capoch a little bit falling apart. COINNU, he's looking good. It's him that's going to be doing the aggressive keep. If he can get this keep up, he's got a stranglehold of positioning on Capoch.
Yep, absolutely. As we see Ram and everything else headed towards Capoch's base. 24 archers versus just alone the 41 archers of COINNU, if you're just comparing the archer count there. Spearmen being picked off, of course, every time they do this, and he just keeps barreling forward.
I will say Capoch has 1 upgrade up on COINNU, 1 more ranged armor, 1 more ranged damage. That means he's doing 2 damage more per shot. That's going to be 9 damage. Let's see, 9 into 1, 8 damage per hit against 6 damage per hit for Capoch's archers. So that is quite a big difference, but that doesn't really matter when your opponent has a mangonel. He's got a mangonel. He's going to start firing there. That's a nice hit.
I just was thinking, like, Capoch could use a mangonel. It could make a big difference as far as, like, how could he turn this around. I'm not sure if that keep really does a whole lot other than buy a little bit of time, because his other keep's right behind that. It doesn't control, like, a whole lot more resources for him, at least. Oh, a little horse archer raid? Is that what's going on here?
Is that, yeah, 4 horse archer raid. Okay, okay, going for the horse archers. He had the archery ranges. He's going to go with a couple of those, just keeping up pressure, increasing villager lead here. They're doing pretty good. Didn't notice it yet.
Watch this ram die to the watch, that ram's gonna die to that keep, guarantee you.
Why is that why is it dying to keeps
They
so
just don't have
easily?
enough HP. I mean, look at that. It's go. Imagine if he had built units inside of that. That thing would be dead already.
It's not even close.
Poor ram. He's unloved. Okay, and COINNU right on top of this, dropping the high armory on the front line. And,
God.
you know, this could seal the deal for him as he has a considerable lead. 20 villagers up right now. Military also has a lead in that regards. I guess there's 24 spearmen for Capoch and 28 archers. We hear pings going off all over the map as just little engagements here and there. That ram is dead, and he's going to kill the mangonel, perhaps, if that villager doesn't heal it. Oh, he got it.
Old repair would have done it. One villager, old repair, definitely would have kept it alive, but new repair on siege doesn't. Sag, mangonel dead.
Yeah. There he goes. He hits age 4 as Capoch has to realize that his time in this tournament is closely getting more and more scarce as he has to do something, but I don't know how he's going to deal with this. He's really kind of lost the map control right now. There's a powerful army from COINNU on the map, and he's getting these H4 upgrades and bombards.
Yeah, this is so sick. Springald upgrade, boiling oil, bombards, elite archers. Not quite going university upgrades just yet, but it can't be too far off. Then you put yourself in the shoes of Capoch, 800 food per minute. You need 2,400 even just to start going Imperial, let alone leveraging it.
Yeah.
It's tough for Capoch.
We've got two siege, four siege workshops. I was like, oh, he's got 1 or 2.
Or it's insane.
Okay,
We've got Streltsies coming out, we've got 4 siege workshops. So now it's kind of time to just start sacrificing maybe some horse archers, maybe some spears. Note how those spears are still veterans. I don't think that's an oversight. I think that's just good enough. You get the brace mechanic. Didn't care too much about their stats, just kind of sacrificing the needless fat and trimming it away from a more surgical approach towards going all the way to Imperial. And he's going to replace his army with really high quality Streltsies, Bombards, and Springalds. COINNU is looking at delivering the final blow here to Capoch and closing this out 3-0. That's his goal. I don't know if Capoch has anything to say about it. He's doing the only thing that could possibly work.
Raid.
He's going to Imperial himself right now.
Yeah, trying to drop some raids. There's spearmen there to catch them on the back line. As we've mentioned about these keeps, they cost stone to repair now. So look at that. He's out of stone. He's not going to be able to repair that keep anymore as he looks. Yeah, that thing's going to be going down. And these, is he training any more bombards? I know he's at pop max, so probably not.
Yeah. Bombards, Springalds, and Mangonels in production. Incomes as well. Boyard's Fortitude. We've got incendiary arrows coming around, Springald emplacements, and COINNU is tying it all up with a very nice wall segment at the bottom of the map. Just doing the due diligence to make sure that harassment counteroffensive becomes less and less effective. If he makes that a full, complete map wall, then COINNU really has this on lockdown. Now, Capoch will reach Imperial himself relatively shortly, and he does have the gold, so it's not quite death animation yet. Mortal Kombat guys like, can I say it now? Can I say it? Can I say finish him? And they're like, no, not yet. You'll get your time, but not yet. There is still a chance, so let's see what Capoch can do.
Yeah, and we've got Knights out. He's raiding everywhere, but honestly, right now, COINNU could afford to lose the villagers because that just means more siege units for him if he's got the military population. But we do see a Turtley Roost player, but I think COINNU is going to be nice and calculated. He's going to take his time on this siege. He's not going to. I mean, he's about to close this out. There's no reason to overplay.
You raised your virtual eyebrows, Fitzbro, when you mentioned the high armor was being made in the center, but it worked out. Yeah. Capoch did the same thing. But he's not in the same game state, is he? This high armor is rather exposed.
Yep, and we see, looks like Capoch is making his move. He's got his spearmen running in and his archers, but there's mangonels there. How's he going to deal with those?
He's just going to ignore them. If you
Yeah, that's one play. Looks like he killed it with Spearman, though. Did he? Yeah, he got it.
He killed one siege unit with Spearman. You know, when we were much younger, single-digit age, my brother believed that if you played hide and seek and you were the one hiding and you closed your eyes, it followed the logic: if I can't see you, you can't see me either. It's a dumbass thing to think, and it wasn't true then, and it's not true now. Ignoring him are not gonna save Capoch from the threat of them, and he is definitely gonna take it. As COINNU is pushing in and killing units, he's killing the high armory. Nothing is being discounted by this high armory. There's no siege workshops here.
There's nothing to do.
For the juggler and the clown fiesta.
Yep. So he knows his walls are closing in. Just it's going to be a few more seconds before he taps out. Certainly. Just thinking back, reflecting on this series, like this one has seemed like it's gone for a majority of this game in COINNU's favor. But that first game in the series, that Absent versus French game, I really didn't know who was going to win that for a good majority. I felt like that one was a lot closer matchup.
I agree with you. It was really hard to tell, and I think for most of it, I was believing Capoch was going to do it. And you know, sometimes one player is in a good spot, sometimes the other, but the red thread throughout this is that COINNU is the slightly more capable tactician right now, the slightly better performing, better shaped up. He gets the best out of small little situations. The red thread of the story of his harassment with knights throughout all of the games, no matter the game state, always finding some kind of disruption, has been instrumental to netting him these two first games, and most likely pushing him towards a 3-0 landslide victory in terms of score, if not in terms of actual performance, because Capoch has made these losses look good. He's had chances, it's just shy of the mark.
And another thing is to consider when we're in a best of 5 scenario is you have to be able to go deep with civilizations, and one of them is going to get banned. Like, I don't know if Capoch likes playing, maybe HRE is one of his favorite. I know he plays a considerable amount of French, which is why that French looks so good in game 1. But I mean, you have to be at a high level with every civ you're playing, and that's what's so challenging. I know for me, like, I've got a few hours after work to play Age of Empires. I'm usually playing my favorite civ, but like to have all these battled ready for tournaments like this it really takes a lot of skill.
Yeah, it's really impressive, and it's an unfamiliar concept for Blizzard RTS players to be faced with having to learn all these civs, up to 8 different ones, and be proficient with all of them in order to go deep in these kind of tournaments. And while Age of Empires 2 has the same concept of multi-civ proficiency, the civs are significantly more similar there than the kind of asymmetry, the original civ design in Age of Empires 4.
I love it. He's dropping a town center. He is still in this thing. He has not given up. He's going to be training more villagers here at the 32-minute mark, as he's got all kinds of hell unleashing on him on the front line. And he sees that there's a town center here. Will he come down and move his army? I don't know. I think he's just going to keep rolling forward slowly and slowly.
Yeah, Capoch is like, it's just a flesh wound, I'll bite you! He's still alive here as he's being absolutely disfigured, dismembered, disemboweled, and just absolutely dismantled here by COINNU. But Capoch, he's still trying. He's trying to put the pieces together, trying to fit the triangle and the circle and the triangle. He's like, I knew this what I was for, but he's not figuring it out because he's being stressed by a draconian caretaker. He's like, no, you go fix this right now. And he's like, I don't know how the shapes fit together anymore. And COINNU is in his base and trying to finish him off, and he's killing landmarks. And we're looking at win conditions right now. 2 landmarks have been downed. There's 2 left. They're inside. COINNU is trying to finish it off.
Yep, 2 landmarks we've got right there, and the bombards are just actually already shooting on that capital town center, and I don't think it's gonna be a whole lot more. He can make more villagers all he wants, but those bombards are coming to town.
Yeah, literally, quite literally. They're coming to town, they're taking down the town. 2 landmarks down, there's a 3rd one going. Bombards are back on the menu, boys. He's taking that one down, and after that, it's the monastery that will stand sentinel. Even as Capoch has amassed a nice force of Streltsy here. What's that?
He's got the sacred site timer now. He's got, got both sacred sites now. 10 minutes if he's not able to finish this off. Maybe a big Wololo, but you can't convert siege with the Wololo. And this is going to, you know, it looks like a landslide here, but like this is how some of these, as the players get big advantages in Age of Empires, this is kind of how it starts to look towards the end of the game. And he taps out a clean 3-0 victory for COINNU, and he will be advancing on to the next round.
Really, really impressive performance by him. We're going to take a quick look at the brackets here. The winner of COINNU versus Capoch, which we now know is COINNU, is going to face the winner of B versus Hut. Although that series ended in a 3-2 in favor of B, by the way, who won all the uneven numbers of the set of that match, winning the first, third, and fifth, that series finished quicker than this one. Even though they started at the same time, they finished 5 maps quicker than this one. It's because COINNU Capoch took 40 minutes per map. Wow, it's so similar to Food. Oh my god.
Yeah, very, very close. I mean, you wouldn't. Overall, those resources are rather close. You wouldn't know like that's how much like it kind of went in COINNU's favor. But it just military wise, COINNU was just able to make it happen, and that's got to be, you know, really. Yeah, I'm looking at the villagers. Yeah, there's a bit of a difference there, but yeah, it definitely was a kind of a landslide there towards the end with COINNU as far as look at that right there, big military difference.
Wow, yeah, that's insane. The earlier Imperial offered quality difference, and he hit him right after Capoch reached Imperial, which it's got to be said, it was impressive for Capoch to hold on as he did with a 5-minute disparity in Imperial timings, but he gave it his all. Wasn't good enough this time. Sadly for him, he will be eliminated, but COINNU will move forward to top 8, to the quarterfinals. Keep in mind, 2 of the players of that top 8 will be able to place themselves for the $300,000 finals that's going to be happening in Germany in later on this year.
Yeah, and as we close up this series, we got more action coming up for you today, but we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. But before we do, the next series we're going to be covering is going to be Casva versus the Muslim.